Hi guys, and welcome to another Vlogmas. Today I'm doing something that could be rather stupid, to be fair. We currently have Storm Bert here. He is causing havoc. We've had 40-mile-an-hour winds. We've had so much rain this morning that my fields now resemble a paddling pool. And I've decided that because we've had such terrible weather this week, we've literally had temperatures of -7 at points, that the arena has been frozen solid for 4 days now, and I just can't take it anymore. It's still frozen despite the fact we've got all this rain now. So we are taking Ginny to an indoor arena hire, which is only like down the road. It's not far at all, but I am taking a horse I don't really know, that's not been ridden for 4 days, in a storm, to go and ride in an indoor, which I've never ever ridden in an indoor, not an idea if she's been in an indoor before, to practice some dressage tests, because I thought it was a great idea to put her in for 2 dressage tests tomorrow. So that is what we're doing today. We're going to go and see what Ginny thinks to all of that, and we're going to try her in a different dressage saddle as well. I'm just in the box now, just about to take it round to the stables. I have been absolutely soaked this morning. Luckily I've got all of my layers on, all of my Ariat layers, and I will show you obviously my outfit that I'm going to be wearing for today to fight the storm. But yeah, it could be a very interesting vlog. Very excited to get back in the saddle. Honestly, 4 days of not riding has killed me, and yeah, and luckily I'm working very hard round the clock to get this done. But anyway, let's go get Ginny in and take Betsy round. Miss Ginny's on board, aren't you, good girl? Let's get you some. Oh, where are all your treats gone? Oh, I need to go get some. So we've got Gin to our arena hire. We are a little bit early. I didn't actually think anyone would be here, so I thought we might be able to sneak in a bit earlier, but we've only got 20 minutes. She's got her saddle on. I've not put her bridle on yet. I'll wait until just before. We're going to try her in a dressage saddle, which is actually not Lucy's, is it? It's Chili's dressage saddle that Lucy has been wearing, and also that the saddle fitter thinks will fit Gin best. We've bought her other saddle just in case she doesn't like this one, but we're going to try her in that. I've got prelim 2 and 3 to practice to possibly go out tomorrow, because why not go out 2 days on trot in a storm, to compete at Hill House, but we will see, because at the moment we're not forecast too bad of weather. That all may change, so we will see. But yes, we're gonna, she's not been ridden in 4 days, and it's our first time coming to an indoor, so no idea what this is going to be like. She might be rather feisty, she might not be, you just don't know yet, with a new horse. So excited to see what she's like, and this has mirrors, and I'm actually really excited to see what I look like riding her, as daft as that sounds. But yeah, I'll go get her ready in a minute. Oh, we've got very little room in here, Gin. Go back. Bye back. Good girl. So she's all tacked up and ready to go. We're just waiting for the arena to be free so we can go straight in so that we're not getting cold, aren't we? Yes. So I've had to let her have a little walk around, a little look-see. There's a bit of a reflection on the board, so we're going to go through for the 3/4 line for now. Just encourage her over, let her relax. I've got enough rein, but I'm not. Just keep encouraging her over. Good girl. We're also in a new saddle. I've brought the other saddle, but we are in the dressage saddle today, which is new to Ginny. Good girl. And we've got a lot of noises of the rain on the roof. Good girl. Good girl. Now I find we're probably just best off cracking on with the job, aren't we? Good girl. Come on. On. Good girl. And give her something else to think about other than the arena that she's riding in. Good girl. Circles, transitions, whatever we need to focus on other than the scary monsters in the corners. And number one rule with a horse that's having a little look, a little bit spooky, a little bit unsure, lots of leg. Forward, forward, forward. What we want to do as riders is not go forward. We want to go, oh no, stop, have a look, process, go slowly. That's not what we want, is it, Jen? We want to push them forward, give them lots and lots of things to worry about that aren't, not to worry about, to focus on instead of worrying. And actually, we've got a beautiful reaction. I'm feeling good. I'm a bit more settled on this rein. Good girl, Jen. Good girlie. I know. Who's that pretty pony? Who's that pretty pony? This bit's a bit scary, isn't it? All right. Again, forward. She wants to stop and have a look. That's okay. We can stop and look, provided we are listening. So again, we'll come away from the corner and get her to leg yield a little bit over. It's okay. Because if this was a test, we wouldn't have an option but to go in that corner. So, here we go. Good girl. Good girl. And obviously doing this on a day when she's not had much work, we'll see the most reaction. Good girl, Jen. So much inside leg here. Keeping my hands soft, but encouraging her into these corners. Good. Good. Good girl, Jenny. Isn't this horse going bloody well?
Yeah.
Good girl, Jen. I know, scary corner. Scary. I like indoor, I like dressage saddle. That's it. Good girl. You're fine, good girl. Better. Good girl. All this snorting, exactly what we want. Just pushing her over to that corner slowly. Let her relax. She loves to cut a corner anyway, don't you, Jen? Good girl. And we'll walk. What a good horse. What a bloody good girl you are, Ginny. Not been ridden for almost a week and come out and working like this. Good girl. We're just a bit unsure. Just a bit unsure this corner, aren't we? But that's okay. That's okay. Good girl. I think she quite likes this saddle. I feel quite secure in it. I feel a lot more secure in this. listening and get that nice trot back. Good girl, good girl. Yeah, it was. Good girl. Right, we'll practice a few things that we're going to have to do in the test, like enter at A, because we're coming down to the mirrors in this. So, not worried about her head at the moment. I'm going to go left. Clever Jen, clever girl. Always encourage forward. And then here, sit up, think about our corner, inside leg, overshot slightly, but this time we're going towards the corner she doesn't like, so lots of leg support. Look early, let her know early. I know, it's okay. It's just made a noise this time. Just made a noise that time, Jin Jin. Good girl. And don't change the plan. Stick to the plan. It just made a little noise. So I'm going to do that again. Lots of leg, lots of encouragement. Good girl, Jeanette. Good girl, good girl. Right, should we practice some dressage tests? So you get the idea, and then we ran through 2 of the tests that I'm practicing, prelim 2 and 3. Basically I run through the test first time and then work out what I kind of need to, work on and improve in terms of movements. And so that's what we did today, but when the camera's in the corner, it's just a bit boring for you guys, so I kind of skipped through all this bit. But we had some really, really nice moments in there. Definitely still so much we need to work on with Ginny. But don't forget, I've not even had a lesson on her yet. We are still very, very early days. So it's now much later. It's actually the evening. And the dressage is going ahead. So I'm just getting all of my bits ready to plait Ginny up. And this is going to be the world's quickest plaits. I am going to thread them. Not sure that's quite ginger, but it'll do. Yeah, I am going to thread them. Scissors, 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 not scissors. I hate plaiting. I'm so bad at it as well, but needs must, I'm afraid. This is also going to be the world's quickest plaiting episode you've ever seen, because I am in a rush, and I said I'd go see my in-laws and have tea with them tonight, and kind of forgot that it normally takes me like an hour to plait. So yeah, these might not be my best work, but we can at least try. I also have no, I normally use I call it glue, or my sticky stick for plaiting, and we don't have any of that. So, oh, there's my sticky stick. we do have my sticky sticks, so it's holding wax. You can tell I'm so professional. Yeah, I've just given her a feed. I'm gonna go in and section her mane now. But yeah, Ginny's first competition. Hopefully it doesn't get cancelled, because if I plait up tonight and it's cancelled tomorrow, I'll be so annoyed. And so into the action of separating Ginny's mane, which actually Ginny has a very nice mane for plaiting. So it made my job a lot easier because, as you guys know, I am absolutely terrible. So I started by separating her mane. Caramel, I don't know what she's doing. I think she's got some food stuck at the top of her mouth. She just likes to ruin my videos by pulling faces in the background. That's just her thing. But back to Ginny and plaiting. Someone actually once asked me to do a tutorial on how to plait a horse. Trust me, the last thing you want is a tutorial from me on how to plait. Maybe a tutorial on how not to plait. These were the fastest, messiest plaits that I have ever done in my life. I band first, so I do the plaits in a line first and band, and then I go in and I sew them up, because if I band them, they just all come out. So that is what we did this evening, and you'll soon find out that it was kind of a waste of time. So it is done. I haven't done her forelock because I'm terrible at forelocks, so I'll get Jade to do that in the morning, but the rest are done. I'm not giving you a close-up, it's not great, and I did it in pretty much darkness. There you go, that's as much as you're getting. But it's done, she's ready. Watch them cancel it now. If they do, I will cry. But I've just given her some extra hay. Haven't we, Jim Meister? Given her some extra hay. Plenty of hay for tonight. And then I'm going to leave her now to have a nice evening, and hopefully she keeps her plaits in. We'll find out in the morning. So after you saw me on Saturday when I plaited Ginny up and I said it best not get cancelled, dressage got cancelled at 5:30 the next morning, which I was very annoyed about, but I could see their reasonings. I think they had the weather, the wind a little bit worse than what we had. So yeah, that did get cancelled annoyingly, but instead, so we're now on Tuesday and I am taking Ginny out to do dressage today. So instead of going and doing a normal dressage test, why am I like half in the sun, half not? So instead of going and doing a normal dressage test, I actually put in for stressless dressage last week, which also got cancelled because of the weather, but it's on today. So it's one of the tests that I was practicing the other day, but I'm also doing prelim 1. So I was practicing the other day 2 and 3, but today I'm actually doing 1 and 2. So it's stressless, which means I don't have to wear show attire. It's not competition gear. Ginny doesn't have to be plaited up, but it is still a competition actually. So if you entered specific tests, because it was pick your own times and pick your own tests, but if you entered the test that they were marking for the competition, it is still competition, if that makes sense. So I chose the 2 tests that were in the competition, prelim 1 and 2. So we are actually competing, we're just not in competition gear today. I always said I'd never do a stressless. I was like, what's the point in it? Like, I quite enjoy getting ready for competition. I don't enjoy plaiting, I hate plaiting, but I quite enjoy, you know, looking the part and getting the horse looking the part. So I always said I'd never do stressless. And I actually booked this on a whim last week, just to try her out. But it's just worked out that actually with everything else being cancelled, we might as well go and do it. So it is sort of Ginny's first competition, because it is competition, we're just not in competition attire. So that is what's happening today. My tests are at 2:12 and 2:19, so I'm literally going to be back to back. I have learnt them, so hopefully I don't need a caller, but I do know them. I've never done 2 tests from memory before. If I've done 2 tests, I've had a caller. So they are quite simple tests though, so I should be okay, provided I don't muddle them up in my head. We should be okay. So yeah, we are going to go to Psych House to do some dressage today. So guys, we are at Psych House. Now we use Jen. I'm going to get her tacked up in a moment, start getting her warmed up and ready. I've just spoken to the team and they're going to allow a caller, which you are allowed. I just didn't select one because I thought Mum was coming, to be honest. I thought she'd call. But she's not, so we're going to get Jen tacked up and warmed up in a moment. So this is actually only our third time riding away from home, I believe. We've not really managed to do many arena highs and things like that recently just because the weather has been so bad. So I'm sorry guys, it's been a little bit slow. But you don't know that because you're watching Vlogmas and this is a month after. But anyway, this is my first time riding in an arena with another horse with Jin. Luckily, choosing the stressless and the fact that everyone had their own times and things meant that it was really, really quiet. There was literally a horse in the arena doing their test. There was one in the car park and there was one in the warm-up with us. So the main thing with the warm-up is I just wanted her forward. I am not bothered where her head is at the moment. She kind of naturally, if you get her going forward, will bring herself into quite a nice outline. And I just wanted to get her listening to me. Obviously, taking a brand new horse out that you don't really know is really, really important just to give them a positive experience and just to suss her out. There was a lot she could have spooked at in this warm-up and she really didn't. I was so proud of her, the way that she came out and just got on with the job, and she was exactly the same to ride in the warm-up as she is at home. The test slightly different, but the warm-up really, really good. But I think in tests I tend to get a little bit more nervous as soon as I know I'm doing something, so I think that was more me. But she was so good for this warm-up, and as you can see, we're in with another big ginger. So it was home from home. But yeah, really, really pleased with her. And one thing I always do with Ginny is I tend to ride on a really long rein and kind of just give her her head and keep my hands quite wide to kind of tunnel her into the bit. We found so far that that worked really well. Also bearing in mind, I still have not yet had a lesson on this horse. So we are just kind of, you know, doing this our own way and working it out as we go along. And I think, to be fair, we're doing a pretty good job so far. Good girl. Not bad to say I've had her 2 weeks, is it? Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Jim Meister. Good girl. Good girl, Jin Jin. Good girl. So once we were all warmed up, it was then into the test. Now, I have obviously never had Ginny in whiteboards. I've never ridden around whiteboards. I've only actually ever ridden this horse in like 3 arenas. So this was going to be quite a test for us both today. And I was very immensely pleased with how she came out. She literally went around this arena and didn't particularly look at a thing. Now, I did what I always do when it comes to dressage tests, and I got to A and I went, and I did not breathe down the centre line at all. I start a test and I just seize up. I stop breathing and I go, kick, 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 let's get this over with. Now, luckily, by the time I'd actually done my first 20-metre circle, I had relaxed a little bit. But poor Ginny, I was not the relaxed human that she needed on her down that centre line, so it was a little bit tense. But otherwise, I actually thought I rode this pretty well. And for me to say I think I rode something well, as you guys know, I don't say that very often. So I was very, very proud of myself, and I was even more proud of Ginny because I just thought that she was ace to say this was her first ever dressage test with me. Obviously, she has done dressage tests in the past in eventing, and actually from Ginny's record, she's actually been low 30s a few times. She's had a couple of high 30s and one sub 30. And as you guys know, me and Perse, we like our dressage. We like to try and get in the sub 30s. So this winter we will be working really, really hard with Ginny to improve her dressage as we start our dressage lessons next week. The only thing that I really took away from today that I want to work on is her bend. Now, I think because obviously I had tensed up in the arena, and when you're in whiteboards, it just feels like you're in quite a contained space, I find. So I did feel that she just didn't want to bend very much, especially through her ribs. Like in the walk and trot, not too bad, but especially in the canter, as you'll see, we were very it was a bit like riding a surfboard. There wasn't much inside bend. In fact, if anything, she was giving more outside bend, especially where the trees were. She wasn't too sure about that one. But that's the only thing that I really think we need to work on here. So this is her free walk on a long rein, and she stretched beautifully. The only thing is, again, Ginsley, so similar to Snip in a lot of ways, as you'll see from this test. This was actually the first test I ever did with Snippy. Do you remember her have a go day for her mini one-day event? This is the test that I did then. And if anyone has watched that, comment now what Snip did in that test. Because let me tell you, Ginny does the same. Not at the same point, but she does the exact same thing. For the same reason as well. So anyway, into the canter, and as you can see, canter, we've kind of reverted a little bit to a 6-year-old here. Head is in the air, we're not bending, we're not really listening. She did get a little bit more balance around that corner, and in this canter, we're just doing 20-metre circles. She got a bit, well, hey, we're off here. But basically, because I couldn't get the bend, it just felt very, very messy. That downwards transition was terrible. So our canter definitely needs some work in this sort of environment. Although a very nice trot there from her. And then in this corner, straight back into canter. So it's a very quick sort of transition there. And as you can see, she's hollowed. She's really did not want to bend on this rein, and she kind of felt like she was going to break canter, so I was just trying to be really strong with my legs, and then we came up here and I did give her a little tap with the whip, and that was the result of that. So note to self, do not tap with whip in canter. In trot, apparently fine. In canter, not fine. So that was a little bit of showing the chestnut mare in her there, but then a very nice halt to finish the test, and I finished it with a massive smile on my face. And then actually I was straight in to my next test, and this one is prelim 2. Jade went down the other end of the arena so you could see me a little bit better for this one. So this test was a lot more consistent, and I think the canter work was a lot stronger, a lot better. Still, you know, far from perfect, but it was a better test. Here she did go to try and change and thought about changing, but which was a little tail flip there, but she didn't, and that was really important to me. This is something we worked on the other day in the indoor arena, as you guys saw. She really struggled the other day. Like, we could not get her around that corner without her either doing a flying change or braking. So to have got to a point where she was riding this accurately, it might not have been done perfectly, but it was accurate, was really an improvement already in a week. And I've seen such a massive improvement in this mare from when she arrived and literally would ride like an off the track thoroughbred. We're really seeing a bit of dressage potential in there now. And I was just so proud of her to come out and have the mentality that she did today. It's a big ask coming out to her first competition, to an environment she's never ever been in before with me. You know, I just thought I really couldn't have asked any more of her. She did literally fall into the halt, and the judge just put a little loss of balance there. Like, yeah, she tripped over her own foot. But there we go. They are both my tests done, and what a superstar Ginny was. So very excited for the future with this horse. She tends to be better though when she's had a day off, and then she's ridden. You good girl. First outing done. Come here, madam. No, you'll knock it off, and there's someone doing a test. Stand up. Good girl. Do you want to grab a head collar, Jade? We'll get that on first. Did you do big bucks? Did you? Was that naughty? Yes. I don't want to canter. Reminds me of another certain ginge. It does, yes. Ooh, hard line. This is what we'll do. There we go. We've got some sweaty ears. Good girl, I can tie you up now. Make life a bit easier. Yeah. Oh.
Red button on the top.
Are you telling Luth how to use the camera? Is someone doing a test? Oh my god. I shouldn't be allowed to park near where people are actually doing tests. She says no. Nice try. Try again. None of my horses are used to a cold wash off. You're all pampered princesses. Just like to note that there is another one here. Lucy, stop hiding. What? Lady in poo. That's what she's done, Luce. Come on. Home time. Good girl. Are you going to get on? Good girl. So guys, it's actually the next day. Sorry about that. I got home and was actually exhausted. We turned Ginny out and then it was pretty much time to bring all the horses in. But she did so well. She actually scored 64% in both tests, despite the little added moves in the first one, which I'm really, really happy with. 64% is a brilliant score for her first outing, and to say we've literally not been together for very long at all and not had any lessons, and it's a brand new partnership. So I was really, really pleased that she actually even got 2 rosettes, so she came 4th and 5th, which is just incredible. I can't believe that we actually placed. And we qualified for Trailblazers. I just don't know how all that happened in our first outing, but it's made me very, very excited for the future. There is so much for us to work on, and myself especially at competitions, but we just went out and had some fun, and it was a great day. So really, really happy that we put the work in to dressage over the last week. Also very excited to start jumping soon, just waiting on these things. But yeah, and thank you so much for watching, and don't forget that there will be another Vlogmas video in 2 days time, so I will see you then.